we bring to you Texas Rangers manager, former Texas Rangers manager, and current Braves third base coach, Ron Washington. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing great. I have to ask you a little bit of a fun baseball question. Is the Blue Jays manager yesterday allegedly yelled, "Shut up, fat boy," at the Yankees?
Oh, my.
Did you ever yell at the other team or the other dugout any sort of insults?
In my mind, I never uttered it out my mouth because I know cameras out there and they got experts can read your lips. In my mind, I certainly did.
Nice. Probably not radio-friendly insults either. I appreciate that.
Were any of them ever aimed at current Rangers manager Bruce Bochy during the World Series against San Francisco?
No.
Okay.
Total respect for Bruce. Total respect. Total respect.
Yeah, I am like really kind of curious about like when you get the chance to talk to him and have those conversations. I mean, and being back in Texas this week and everything. What is the conversation like with Bruce?
I'm really learning. He's a very efficient guy in the way he handles his business. And when I talk to guys like him, I'm in the listening mode. You know, when you listen, you learn, and you only learn when you listen. So I'm in a listening mode when I talk to Bruce Bochy. All I can do is learn. Everything that comes out of his mouth, I can just learn from it, and that's where I am.
Wash, what's going on? It's your son, Derek.
Hi, Derek. How are you?
Hey, I wanted to point out something that people don't really get to see about you that, one, I've always loved because you've changed my career big time, but two is how much time you spend with guys on the field. Me and Mike Bassick were talking about it. You were with Ozzie Albies and a few other guys out there. I know you did this with Semien. Who got you to start doing this, and how long have you truly been doing this for?
Well, I think all the coaches that I've had in my career, starting in rookie ball, all the way to the big leagues, and then even when I got to the big leagues as a coach and as a manager, guys like Jim Leland, those are the kind of guys that take you under their wings and really teach you how to handle things. So that's the way it's been for me all my career, though. And I enjoy being on the field. I enjoy sharing the wisdom and the knowledge that I have, and I certainly wasn't born with it. It was given to me through all the coaches, as I said, that I've had through the years I've been in the game of baseball. I say a lot of things that makes a lot of sense, but a lot of it comes from other people. It's just coming out of my mouth.
I like that.
Do you, the other thing I was going to bring up too, and this was kind of a funny story from before, but you remember your time up in Minnesota? We went for, I guess it was like a reunion where you guys got to play against each other, I think is what it was, and you were talking so much smack to us. Do you remember what happened on that first at-bat that you had out there?
Yep, I remember the first at-bat. It was a base hit.
You don't remember?
The smack I was talking. It was a base hit, and then I went into the field and I pulled the hamstring.
Yeah, both of them, right?
Yeah. No, just one.
Just one.
Just the left.
I just remember it looked like you were like shot down. It was like a wounded duck just went down.
But you know what I did, Derek? I went to second base from the outfield. And I got 2 more at-bats. I went 3 for 3. And my next 2 at-bats, I brought a runner up to the plate and told him, "You will get on the base." I mean, everybody else was just going through the motion, but Ron Washington was serious.
That's the one thing I do want to say, too, is like how well you interacted with players. That's what makes you so special and so great of a manager, also as a coach as well, is you talk so much smack with the guys. You are one of the guys. That is so unique to see.
I was a player, and I actually understand how difficult the game is. I'm with you through good times. I'm with you through bad times. I've been through the times that you're going through, so I do have an idea how to get you through it. And if you're willing to listen and willing to apply, we can get you through those bad times. I just want you to know I love you, man, and I'm with you no matter what. And that's what I've learned, and I've gotten that from other coaches, and that's how you do it. I mean, that's the only way I know how to do it. I talk a lot of smack, like you said, and I know a lot of people don't take me serious, but the first time I hit Texas, I told them we was going to go to the World Series. They thought I was crazy, but that's the way I felt. That's what you call belief. And if you believe it, you can make the people around you that's following you believe it.
Wash, I love that. I love we were talking about working with Ozzy Albies. I was wondering, as a coach, and you're working with a player, you talk about the intensity of it, the seriousness of it, and the enjoyable nature of it. How do you combine all those things to make sure you get the most out of the player? Because sometimes they might find it as too repetitious. And how do you know, I might be losing him a little bit on his concentration. I need to make maybe either a game out of it or something to keep him engaged here.
You always take care of detail. They can't deny detail. If you take care of detail, what you are trying to accomplish will always be there in the face, and you have an opportunity to accomplish it. So I work with detail, and the details will draw you in. It really will. And you make them understand what detail is. You don't just use the word. I have Ozzy and all my guys, they come out there and use words, and I make them look it up because they always got their phone with them. I make them look it up, and I want them to understand what they're saying. Not just say the word. There have to be action behind the words you are using. And right now, y'all are so young at the major league level, and you heard something, so you'll repeat it, and you think that means that you will do it. No, look it up so you can know exactly what it means, and I want to see action to the word.
Now, since you're giving us this type of detail, I really love it. I know he's not on y'all's squad or in your system, but yesterday we got the news that Kumar Rocker is going to have to undergo Tommy John surgery. I'm just kind of curious, over the years, what would you say to one of your players when they suffer like a devastating injury?
Do everything that you can to get back. That's it. And that's entitled taking care of the details. Whatever you have to do in your rehab, you don't let nothing for chance. Leave nothing for chance. You got to go through everything. Sometimes things happen to us for a reason. We don't know, but as you go through it, it will clear itself up. That's all you can do. I mean, sometimes you have no choice in what happens to you. And he having this Tommy John surgery, I don't think he could have prevented it. So you just got to go through the rehab, and you got to go through the rehab.
Ron Washington joining us here on the K&C Masterpiece on 105.3 The Fan. How do we keep Ronald Acuna Jr. from hitting 450-foot home runs against us tonight and over the next couple of days, Wash?
Walking. Because if you throw anything around the plate, he's going to put the barrel on it.
He's a pretty interesting
It
player.
Doesn't matter if it's a changeup, a slider, curveball, split, sinker. It doesn't matter, because if your sinker don't sink, he's going to hit it. If your curveball don't break the way it's supposed to break, he's going to hit it. If your changeup end up in the wrong spot, he's going to hit it. If your fastball ends up in the wrong spot, he's going to hit it. So if you don't want him to hit it, walk him.
I know. Well, along those lines, I know this might not be the particular goal for him, or then again, maybe it is. Do you see the potential for Acuna to be a 40-40 person this year?
He has the potential to be a 40-40 guy. He really does, because, man, he gets the barrel on the ball. He has tremendous eye-hand coordination. He has tremendous torque. And he's just a 5'2" monster. He's special. He's very special. And this year, he's really learning about the details of the game. The past couple of years, he played on his talent. Now he's starting to work at his game. He's starting to go out there and take his defense serious. He's starting to take his base running serious. He's starting to study pitchers. He's starting to go in the video room now. That's something Ronald never did. Ronald just walked up to the plate, and you threw it in the wrong place. He hit it. So this year, he's really paying attention to detail. I'm a very detail-oriented person, and if you pay attention to detail, the things you're trying to accomplish, I said earlier, you're going to get it done. And that's what he's doing this year. That's why he's off to such a great start, and we hope that it continue the rest of the year as long as he continue to come to the ballpark and take care of the details.
Wash, you guys have a very interesting team, fun to watch. There's no doubt about it. How do you feel about the Rangers? Do you feel like they are a much more improved team? How do you compare them to maybe some of the teams that you've seen in the past of the Ranger system? What's your thoughts on that? Well,
obviously, they showed you last night what they made of. Their makeup is tremendous, and that has a lot to do with Bruce Bochy. After getting destroyed the night before, you've seen them bounce back. That's when you can tell if you got a team or not, when they don't get destroyed by one day, when they can play each day for the day that it is. And if you look at this team, and I've been looking at it from afar, I've always said this year the best thing that the Rangers has done in acquiring people is acquiring Bruce Bochy. He's a winner. He brings credibility. He brings accountability. And the young kids that you guys had out there last year and maybe it started the year before, you're starting to see them believe. And when you start to believe in, you can be dangerous. And I think the Texas Rangers are dangerous.
Wash, you've worked with so many different players. I know this is probably a tough one off the top of your head, but out of all the players you've worked with, who do you feel like, I don't know if surprise is the right word, but wow, he got more from what I thought he could give a major league team, got the most out of his talent?
Derek.
Well, Marcus Semien. And I say Marcus Semien because we always knew he had the offensive prowess to do what he's doing offensively. But they were uncertain about his defense. And when I left Texas and went to Oakland to work with Marcus, we had to break him down from the beginning. He had to start all over again. And you get players at the major league level, they do not want to start all over again. But Marcus gave himself up to start all over again. And the rest is history. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Wash, I had an opportunity. I think it was when it was against Detroit. I showed up a little late. You actually had gone and spoken a little bit early, and everybody was like, hey, if you wanted audio, you needed to be here like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, oh, my gosh, this isn't good. And so I run out there, and you're talking to some other media, and then you walk over, and I was like, Wash, you mind if I get a minute? And you was like, yeah, shoot, give me your – ask anything. And we ended up talking for almost 30, 40 minutes. And as a young reporter, it was amazing to get that opportunity. And I say that because all the guys in this room you had an impact on. I know we all share the moment that you and Derek had in the World Series. You saved Mike Bassick's life when he was 2 years old from getting hit by a car.
That's right.
And you gave us as a fan base the opportunity to see a World Series. And we really, I just wanted to like express that we all have been impacted by you, and we really appreciate you, man.
Well, like I said, it wasn't me. It was the fortitude and the group that was willing to follow the plan and the vision that we had. And I owe a lot of my success to guys like Derek. I owe a lot of my success here in Texas to Michael Young. I remember in 2017, I was having problems trying to get these guys on board with what I thought good baseball would be. And I went to Michael Young and I said, Michael, I know how to win. I just need somebody to back me. I know I'm new. I know I'm a novice. I said, but I do know baseball, and I just need someone to back me. And Michael said, what can I do? And after that, we started putting our plan in place, and everybody fell in line. So, you just want to lead, and you hope that you can get them to follow. But I think when you got an organization and you want people to follow you, the guys that are the most prevalent in the organization have to have the same vision that you have. And Michael Young, for me as a player, had the vision that I had, and it worked. It came together. As I said, I couldn't wait to get to the ballpark every single day when I managed here, and I know the fans couldn't wait till that afternoon showed up so they can come to the ballpark because they knew that they was going to see something special every single night.
Well, Wash, I appreciate you jumping on here with us and everything, but I do want to say from all the guys that have played beneath you and for you and played probably alongside you as well, and also the fans of Texas. We're extremely grateful for you. We appreciate everything you've done for us and helping us on top of that. But also, we appreciate you for everything here. I love you, man. I thank you for helping me out with my career too.
And I love you too, Derek, and I love every fan that ever stepped into the ballpark here in Texas while I was the leader. Like I say, this was a very special time. The first time that I had an opportunity to be a leader, I knew I could do it. And I wasn't letting anyone take that away from me. That was my vision. And guess what we did? We put it together. But it wasn't me because I didn't catch a ball. I didn't throw a ball. I didn't run a base. It was the guys believing in what we wanted to do and going out there and doing it.
Excellent stuff, good sir, and we appreciate the time. We will love to catch up with you at any point in the future.
Well, you got my number.
Yes.
All you got to do is make a phone call.
All right.
Thank you, sir, for having me.